Video games are a medium based around sight and sound. In these past few videos I've made, I've done my best to highlight some of the less commonly looked at senses in relation to gaming. Boxes in general, but specifically cardboard, have a lot to do with touch. Taste wasn't literal, of course, though I did put a copy of Breath of the Wild in my mouth, just to be a little daring and devious. And wow, it tasted awful. But this week, I ran into a bit of a dilemma. How the frick am I going to talk about smell in relation to video games? I can't tackle that figuratively because, I don't just want to talk about games that stink or whatever. That's boring. And there's no such thing as smell-o-vision in games. So what am I going to do? Well, I have good news. I've managed to bring together the two stupidest minds of our generation for a complete look at smell on video games. We sat down for an hour and smelled video games. In fact, we came up with a smelling guide for each and every one of you that wants to join in at home. There are ups, there are downs, feelings were hurt, blood was shed, but most importantly, games were sniffed. If games are a multisensory experience, and they are, then it's worth asking why smell gets left behind. It's an underappreciated sense that's both emotional and nostalgic. Maybe it's because it doesn't scale well. You can't package it in pixels or compress it into a download. It resists simulation. But that's also what makes it so personal. Smell clings to physical objects, boxes, manuals, and cartridges, in a way that digital media can never replicate, which is exactly what we found when we started opening old boxes. So yeah, this video is about smelling games, but it's also about how much our noses remember, even when we don't. Hello, my name is Avery, and joining me today is the esteemed illustrator of all of those odd little characters that you see on screen in my videos, Mr. Bruce DeBiase.
Hey, what's up? I'm Bruce.
Wonderful. Anyways, I have a selection of games that we're going to be going through. Every single generation of Nintendo console, that's really what I own. And most of them are first prints, which means we're going to have a sniff at all of the very first examples of games that came out for each console. I'm just going to open it up, take a little whiff, and then kind of go over our notes and whatever else we think.
And we'll try and let our BO not interact with the smells.
I actually just showered, so I don't have any of that. But Bruce is a mighty stinky fellow, so.
Some call me the powerhouse of BO.
No one's ever called him that. I only really own Nintendo games, but luckily, most of the fragrant boxes would be made of cardboard. So here are the rules. I pulled out one of every generation of video game boxes that I own, so from the third generation to the present day, specifically first prints of each of the launch titles. For example, the copy of Duck Hunt we smelled was a first print matte sticker seal that came out with the 1985 test market release of the NES. That means we're getting pure, distilled, mostly undisturbed air from inside the box from the time of the console's launch. There are a few variables that also contribute to how these smell. Of course, the age of the box, the kind of cardboard, the ink used, whether it was stored in a closet, a garage, or a perfectly preserved humidity-controlled bunker. Even the amount of air sealed in during packaging can change what we're sniffing today. Will they get smellier over time? Perhaps. Perhaps they're already at their peak. Perhaps the best smelling game box is one we haven't opened yet. Let's take a whiff and find out. So anyway, starting off, we have a Duck Hunt.
Don't even offer it to me first. Oh.
Interesting.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
This is certainly for a refined smeller. It's mahogany, no doubt, richly wooded and dry. You're transported to a library that hasn't had a window open since the Reagan administration. There's a mustiness here, pitchy, like the resin of an old pine, and something distinctly grandmotherly. Perhaps the back row of a church or the spine of a well-worn hymnal. It enters the nose high and sits there, almost philosophical in nature. A contemplative box, a box for readers.
Now we're going to move on to Game Boy. Let's take a sniff.
You first, yeah, you. try and look away because I feel like this is a moment you need concentration. Mm-hmm. Oh, interesting.
An absolute delight. Fresh cut grass and sunshine on laundry day. The scent profile here is airy, with just a whisper of glue, less industrial, more schoolcraft. A youthful aroma, like opening a tin of milk powder in late spring. The inside of the box is where it lives, the outside tells you nothing. It is sweet without being cloying, innocent without being naive. This is a smell that believes in you.
Okay. Now the Super Nintendo launch titles of this on this console were Pilot Wings, SimCity, Star Fox, and F-Zero. I own all of this, but we're taking a look at Star Fox today.
Is it good?
I'm gonna let you.
Wow.
That's concentrated 90 cent.
Heavy, dull. Not so much a scent as a weight. Imagine a closet that hasn't been opened in a decade, filled with coats that once mattered. There's a dampness here, not in moisture but in memory, dust-tinged and melancholic. It evokes sitting on the floor of your childhood home, knowing someone else lives there now. A smell of quiet resignation.
Continuing on, we have the Virtual Boy, and of course we're going with Wario Land.
Wow. Unapologetically boring.
Nintendo 64, Mario 64, and Nintendo 64. Name a more iconic duo.
Wahoo.
Wahoo indeed. Oh. Oh wow. Oh wow, this is...
Oh, don't Food Network it. Is it actually
This is
interesting?
weird.
Wow, what?
This one smells weird.
Sharp, metallic, slightly confrontational. This one feels like walking into a factory on a Sunday when no one's there. There's laundry somewhere, clean sheets, dried quickly, and a tension in the air, as if the box knows what you're about to do. Anxiety in physical form. Very vertical, almost aggressive on the inhale.
We have the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color. Okay.
Mine's weird too.
Don't say it yet. This smells like mint. And then I think this kind of smells like the inside of a dentist's office.
You're not going to say anything?
I'm waiting.
Dude, the reason I laughed was because it smells like absolutely nothing.
No,
to
I
me.
got a little bit in the bottom right-hand corner. DS. Okay, this one literally smells like nothing.
You know, new, fresh start. This is going to be all the plastic ones.
I just smell plastic. And the manual smells like plastic, and I don't like that very much. We play.
Oh, wow.
Dude, this is nothing.
Extremely clean. Perhaps too clean. Like you just washed your hands at a friend's house and dried them with a towel that's been sitting folded on a counter for 2 days. A little sterile, a little fabricy, very forgettable. You feel good after smelling it, but you won't go back for seconds.
3DS! I actually don't own any launch titles. Oh.
Oh.
No, this actually does smell like something.
Oh. You know when you smell something?
I think this one smells like laminated printer paper and warm plastic nostalgia. Sweet in the way that a familiar locker room is sweet. Not because it smells good, but because you've been there. The aroma pulls up happy memories, uninvited. It's emotionally manipulative, and it works.
Wii U, Nintendo Land.
I do smell something with this.
Yeah, I do too. This belonged to me, by the way. All of the Wii and 3DS and DS games, these are mine.
No wonder it smells like Ritz crackers. No, I'm
It
kidding.
doesn't smell like Ritz crackers. Bruce thinks I smell like Ritz crackers for some reason. I don't.
Really?
It smells like horseback riding camp.
It smells like almost, you know what? It smells like a candle trying to impersonate outdoorsy smell.
Yeah, it does. It smells like it's trying to be the outdoors, and it's kind of pissing me off. It smells like it's an imposter.
Yeah,
Right.
get angry, bro. Speak your truth.
We're caught up. The Nintendo Switch. It's been an honor.
Oh. Is that where you smelled it too? No, I'm serious. Right in the spine.
It's right in the spine. Yep.
Why?
I don't know.
What can we say that hasn't already been said?
That's true. I feel like a lot of channels, a lot of review channels have already gone over their thoughts on what the Switch smells like, on what specifically Breath of the Wild smells like. I don't want to rehash this like too much. And IGN, again, we don't want to step on your feet. We really apologize.
Prickly, bitter, emotionally distant. You approach it expecting to be something sleek or modern, and instead, it gives you the olfactory equivalent of a passive-aggressive email. There's something plasticky here, but not quite new, unfriendly. This is the box that doesn't return your texts. You don't want to smell it again, but it dares you to.
So which was the best? And which was the worst? Well, of course it's subjective, but I'll say this. The best, without question, was Super Mario 64. It wasn't subtle, it hit immediately, and it had a presence, which kind of makes sense, right? This was the center of Nintendo's universe in 1996. A launch title, a revolution, the beginning of 3D for millions of people. I bought this copy from a single owner who allegedly opened the box only a few times, and it's been sitting there for decades, just soaking in its own legacy. It smelled like the climax, like a moment that knew it was important. And the worst? The Wii. Not because it was offensive, but because it was banal, a sterile, slightly fabric-y nothingness. So clean it was unnerving. It didn't really smell like a game, it smelled untouched and unused. And that's what freaked me out. It felt like it was hiding something, like there was a more powerful smell under the surface that had been scrubbed away. I don't know, the Wii box has big Patrick Bateman energy. It's trying so hard to seem normal that you start to wonder what it's covering up. Now, I do feel obligated to give some sort of a prescription to conclude this video. Smell, this overlooked, underappreciated sense, at least in terms of video games, is powerful. It's extremely good at strongly reigniting memories. The prevailing theory is that this comes from how it's wired as a sense. The rest of our senses go through a kind of relay station in the brain called the thalamus before they get processed. Smell doesn't. It's the only one that skips the line entirely, heading straight for the limbic system, a group of interconnected structures that handles memory and emotion. So when you crack open an old game box and suddenly feel like you're back in your childhood bedroom, that's not nostalgia playing tricks on you. That's probably your brain doing exactly what it's built to do. And the thing is, games don't do smell. They can't. Same with taste. We build whole worlds in sight and sound, and sometimes even feel, but there's a ceiling on immersion and it smells like cardboard. And maybe that's fine. Maybe that limitation is what makes opening an old game box feel so weirdly special. It's the one part of the experience that can still surprise you. Literally right under your nose. Thank you so much for watching one of the wackier videos I've made. Definitely a very strange one. But if you're still here, of course, you're part of the club, the Parasocial Relationship Club. And so I'll tell you something that happened to me earlier today. Well, not necessarily to me, but to my dog, Goose. He ate a very large stick, pictured on screen now. So with that, I hope that you guys also had a great day. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Okay, bye.